Back Road Ministry, the world premiere, Mr. Marty coming at you live and direct. Wasn't going to talk about this. Somebody had brought this up in conversation, so I'm going to be real quick, real brief about Brother Dave Chapelle being in the news about a comedy show. And this continued idea that comedians don't cross the line, comedians don't tell jokes that are offensive, that comedians, are politically correct. Comedians have never been this. Comedians tell jokes, comedians cross the line, comedians don't thrive on being politically correct. Comedians are willing to talk about things that we're not willing to talk about. But they're jokes. They're fun. They poke fun at women. They poke fun at men. They poke fun at people of color. They poke fun at Caucasians. They poke fun at people. And inside of this poking fun, a good comedian always pretty much lays out, issues that we have as a society to work on. And even in the transgender community, there's issues in the LGBT community, working with this population, there's issues that everybody has to work on. Everybody has to work on. Me working with this population, I never really talk about the transgender part or, the transformation. We don't even have conversations about that. Usually we're dealing in the family matters and things like that. Or, self-esteem issues, things like that. We're pointing on substance issues, stuff like that. We might be pointing on what. We never really get into why you feel you want to be this or why you feel. That's the farthest thing from the conversation. I was taught, never even go there. That's none of my business anyway. And I think today, things that weren't anybody's business is now put out there like a billboard. And it's put out in a way where you look at it and you're like, okay. There are heterosexuals who don't put their sex life out there for everybody. They just don't do it. They don't tell you who they're sleeping with. They don't tell you who they're in a relationship with. They don't put, they're not going to put that information out there. There's gay men and women gay men and lesbian women who don't put their information out there like that. There's transgender people who don't put their information out there like that. They just live their lives. That's what they're doing. There is a media populace, and it has nothing to do with this population. There's a media populace, however, that is being offensive when it comes to the LGBT community because they're trying to place the LGBT community as though they are the most oppressed people in the world. And I want to break this down to you very, very quickly. You can never compare sexual oppression to prejudices against women and prejudices against people of color. You just can't do it because you have a history and a track record of these prejudices. Sexual oppression was a thing that they just started really, really speaking about because you remember now, being in the closet was just the way. You didn't forecast and broadcast who you were and who you were sleeping with and what you were doing. Those were just things that if people found them out, they found them out. It was nobody's business. You didn't put that on Front Street. Now this thing of I want everybody to know who I'm screwing is the new norm. And that's where I take offense to everything that takes place because my thing is your business is your business. Everybody knows who everybody is. In the black community, there are a lot of gay men and lesbian women. There are people in the LGBT community as far as the transgender populace. But everybody knows who everybody is. We're not trying to put everybody on Front Street and on blast. We're not trying to do that. You are who you are. As long as you don't prophesize it every 5-10 minutes. Nobody wants anything thrown in their face. If you're a heterosexual person, you don't want to come over to your friend's house and they sitting there just tongue kissing in front of you and your kids running around. No. No. You want people to dress appropriate. Men should dress a certain way. Women should dress a certain way. But you see these parades, and the thing that's offensive to me, and when I talk to a lot of people in the gay community, a lot of people in the lesbian community, when they see these parades and they see that the way people are dressing, and then they have it labeled that, you know, this is what I'm proud of. My question to them is, what the fuck are you proud of? What are you proud of? How does that show that we are proud people? Look at some of the outfits that you see people wearing. Some of the demeaning stuff. Some of the stuff that shows a lack of self-esteem. If your daughter walked out the house like that, time I'm going to a teenage pride parade, and she was dressed like that, you would have something to say. You would be offended. And I'm offended when I see people do that to themselves, because that doesn't show pride. That shows that you're willing to continue to demean yourself. And who are you demeaning yourself for? Are you demeaning yourself for respect and possibility of getting some laws passed? Or are you just demeaning yourself because you are happy being a spectacle? Has nothing to do with pride. Pride is, we're going to march, we're going to wear regular people's clothes, we're going to march, we're going to have some speeches about things that are important to us. But I'm not going to walk around further demeaning myself, making myself look unrespectable, making myself look like filth. Let's call it what it is. If a woman did that, or a straight guy did that, we would call them filth and trash. So I'm going to call the people that's at that parade that dress like that, who don't look presentable, who aren't out there expressing pride. They're nothing but filth and trash to your community, and you need to get them the fuck out. Because they don't show the pride piece that you're trying to sell. Pride is, this is who I am, and I'm going to march out there with my regular clothes on and show you who I am. But I don't have to do all the extra stuff. Have those guys be out there, let's call a spade a spade. Half of them be out there drugged up and doped up. Drugged up and doped up. Acting a damn fool. Misrepresenting you with trash and filth, but then talking about, well, I'm proud. Well, if you're proud, you can put on regular clothes and you can walk like a person, and you can show that you're proud. You don't have to continue to demean yourself. Dave Chapelle is a comedian. He tells jokes. That's it. He pointed out an issue that people have with people in the transgender community. That is his opinion. That is the opinion of other people in the society. We do not own other people's opinions. We do not have the right to tell people what they need to think, what they need to feel, how they need to act. But we feel that that's okay sometimes. And my problem with the LGBT community is something that I pointed out, and I've had conversations with people, and we've had these conversations on several chords, that it's not okay for you to do certain things and then turn around and act like when it's done to you that is a problem. Or they're just treating me like this because I'm gay, or I'm lesbian, or I'm transgender. No, they're treating you like that because you're fucking wrong. There was a show I watched a long time ago. And in the show, there was a transgender young woman. Had to be about early 20s. She had been going out trying to date heterosexual men. No problem. If you're telling them that you're a transgender woman. She wasn't doing that. And they were Hispanic, so these are people of color. And she met a nice young man. He was a nice guy. And the transgender woman, if you want to call her cute, she's cute. She could pass. So he's thinking that he's met, you know, a gorgeous young girl, and you know, she's into me, and you know, this, you know, he's feeling good about himself. He's beginning to have feelings. The whole show is about her family having a conversation with her about, have you told this young man that you are transgender? Throughout the whole show, her defense is, well, I don't want to tell him because he might not want to be with me. So at that point, you're removing this individual's choice. Yet, you're still running around as a member of that community saying, well, I should have the choice to do this, I should have the choice to do that. But you had no problem removing this individual's choice. you had no problem doing it to another person. But when they do it to you, it's a problem. When they do it to you, though, it's an issue. But you had no problem doing this to this person and not giving them the choice. So as the show continues, her closest cousin continues to tell her, if you like this young man, you need to give him the choice. You need to tell him that you're transgender. She's afraid because, hey, I can lose him if I tell him. Hey, that's in the heterosexual world. If I tell a person that I like them at a certain level and they walk away and they don't like me that way, hey, that's what it is. But at least I gave them the choice. If I'm looking for marriage and they looking just to date, I have to tell them, hey, I'm looking for marriage. I'm giving them the choice if they want to stay with me or not. Choice does not get removed. So as the show goes on and we get towards the conclusion, she finally decides to sit down. Now, remember now, at this time, this young man has kissed this girl. They've kissed, they've got affection and everything. Remember now, he does not know that this is a man. And I want you to think about how he feels about the situation, because in that community sometimes you got some people that is all about just my feelings and not about this young man who's an innocent young man who likes this girl who he thinks is a girl and does not know that he just kissed a man. So of course she has the conversation and she brings up that I'm a transgender woman. And that young man just sat there, because this show is being filmed, mind you, it's a reality TV show. His friends will see this. And he just sat there kind of stunned and shocked. He did not know what to say. He did not know what to do. And she kept trying to ask him, well, is it okay? And he said, no, it's not okay. I don't, this is not my type of relationship. He's not gay. He's a heterosexual man. He thought he was meeting a heterosexual woman. The level of hurt I saw in that young man's face. The level of hurt, because he thought he had something real, tangible. And of course, immediately they go to the rescue of the transgender person who is more hurt than this guy. Both parties are hurt, which is understandable. But one party is damaged irreparably, because that lie really made this boy think about himself. You can't talk about your choice and then you go and hurt somebody else. And now, moving forward, how's that young man going to approach women? Where's his level of skepticism going to be when it comes to women? That now he has to ask that question. You just can't do what you want to do. And the minute someone says or does something to you that you don't like, then it's offensive, then it's a problem. Yet, in that community, is done all the time. Some of the violence that you see is uncalled for. Some of the violence that is taking place with transgender women has been because of what I just talked about. Them not giving the other person a choice, and when the person finds out, they react a certain way. Just like you want the choice to be who you are, you also have to give other people the choice to accept who you are. Everybody's not going to accept who you are. It's no problem. I'm an African-American male. People don't accept people of color in this country. They never really have. We still are struggling. Your struggle is not on my level. Because if you're a transgender African-American male, you're still African-American. If you're a transgender Caucasian American male, be it Italian, be it Eastern European, be it Irish, you are still a Caucasian male. You cannot remove those traits. You're going to be male and female. You cannot remove those traits. No matter how many surgeries you had, you can't produce a child. We have to accept some things. We have to be willing to accept that everyone is not going to share our opinion. People are going to ask questions. Questions are questions. That's all they are. As an African-American male, you get asked questions. People don't understand your culture. They have the right to ask me some things. They're confused. They can ask questions. Because people are that confused. They don't understand. Me being the field I am, I don't ask that question. My cousin is a transgendered male. I don't ask that question. Hey, you do what you do. But I don't respect my cousin. And people will say, well, oh, yeah, he's against the transgender community. No, I don't respect my cousin because of the person that he is. I don't respect my cousin because he's done nothing with his life. I don't respect my cousin because he goes in and does shit that he's wrong and he know his family was not raised that way. Stealing, boosting shit, going to jail every 5 and 10 minutes. That's why I don't respect my cousin. So I'd be damned if he come to my face and say I need to respect him because he's a transgender male when the other parts of his personality are fucked up. And the other things that he does that are wrong are fucked up. I don't give a fuck about you, how you want to look. What's on the inside is dirty and needs to get clean. I respect the person for who they are. I respect that person for who they are. You show who you are. If you want to be respected in this world, then you have to live that way. You have to live the way of a person that wants to be respected. And continue to understand some things. It doesn't matter if you're heterosexual or homosexual. Nobody has to like you. Nobody has to like you. Remember that. Don't think just because I'm this person that people have to like me. There's no rule that says that. People don't have to share your opinion. They're not supposed to. Everybody's supposed to have their own opinion. What the fuck does that have to do with you, first of all? And you can't dish it if you don't like to get it back. Because a lot of times, gay people, lesbian people, transgender people want to dish stuff. They want to talk crap about people. The minute somebody says something about them, then it's a problem. Then it's a problem because you're gay bashing. You didn't know. You said something about me, I'm gonna say something about your stinking ass. That's what it's supposed to be. So, if you haven't watched Brother Dave's show, which is another push, because we know how the elite work, they've really been pushing the shit out of Dave's last special. They gave Dave $50 million. They're gonna get all their $50 million out of this. They created this press because the show really does not deal in great detail with this topic. If you watch the show, I think it deals more with the Me Too movement, and he's more hard on the Me Tooers than anybody. But once again, Dave is pointing out some things that hadn't been done that were important to that movement that weren't even addressed. But the show really doesn't touch much on it. He talks about, it's kind of like Eddie Murphy Raw, and Eddie Murphy comes back and talks about when he made jokes about gay people and how they was out to get him. That's all he really did. That's all he really did. But Dave is not going to apologize for being a comedian. He talks about everybody equally. And like he said, he has more of a problem with the Caucasian populace of the world who have, done some shady stuff to people of color. And he's been talking about that for years. That's Dave's issue. But this whole mentality of say what I want you to say, act how I want you to act, bending the knee to me because of who I'm fucking is just no. In a minute, the gods are coming back. Prices will have to be paid. I hope you have an explanation. But the gods are coming back. This world will be cleansed again. We have to remember that. Be on the side of the righteous. Walk with the righteous. But stop acting as if who you fucking is who you are. The saddest thing about a man is when he does not know who he is. I have gay friends. I respect them because they are men. They are men. They are men first. They're not defined by who they've had sex with in the past. They're defined by the character and the things that I know they do. I know who they are. I have lesbian friends. They are women first. They know who they are. They know what they do. The saddest part is when you don't know who you are. You can't be the other thing, no matter how much you want to be. If you are gay, then you're just gay. If you're gay, you're just gay. You don't have to go through all that. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I don't feel that you need to do that to yourself. Because then you start playing games. Then I'm gay and I want to be a woman so I can attract straight men. If a straight man has sex with you, he's a bisexual male. He's into that type of thing. You have to go and find those type of individuals. Plenty of them out there. But don't play with other people. Because you don't want to be played with. But the wrong piece is when you feel like it's okay to do that. It's okay to play. If I play with other people because I'm transgender and I'm so oppressed. No, it's not right to do that shit to anybody. Honesty is a personality trait. It has nothing to do with anybody being in a closet. Heterosexual males and females struggle with this. The honesty piece. If you're in a relationship, you go sleep with somebody else, or you married and you go find some young girl and don't tell her your damn marital status. That's being dishonest in a relationship. That's not right. You string this person along and end up damaging this person. That's not right. So if I do that, should I just be able to say, well, I'm a married man and I'm so oppressed and don't talk about me? Look at my childhood? No, wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. Be right. Do the right thing. Build your personality and character. Who am I as a person is the thing that judges an individual. So, touchy topic for a lot of people, but my thing is, if you can't take it, stop dishing it. Stop dishing it. Like I say, I know a lot of gay people who like to dish it. They like to talk about people like dogs. The minute you say something about them, oh, it's so offensive. Oh my God, you offended them. No, because you say you'll talk about a motherfucker and act like it's cool. The minute somebody talk about you, nothing. And then like one of the black comedians said, the gay brother's a black comedian, you ain't talking about nobody else's issues. It's all about you. Yet, if you're gay and African American, you're African American first. If you're lesbian and female, you're a fucking woman first. There's plenty of other issues that need to be addressed as well. They need to be addressed. So, like I said, I don't give a fuck about who you're fucking. I can care less about who you're fucking. Because that doesn't define you as a person. It has nothing to do with you as a person. I want to know who the person is. I don't want you to say I'm proud to be who I am and then go outside looking like filth and trash, dancing around like a fucking buffoon, instead of marching high with your head up, looking respectable, saying this is who I am. People have the right to their opinion. People have a right to point out the issues of other people. If you can do it, so can everybody else. If you're offended, personally, you can get offended. People say things about me, I get offended. Dave Chapelle got $50 million. You can't take his $50 million away from him. No matter what you say, what you do, what you think. Dave Chapelle does not owe you an apology. What the fuck for? He's a comedian. He can say what he fucking wants to say. Now, if it's totally offensive, I've heard times when Dave has apologized and something's been really, really offensive. For the most part, Dave is a true life comedian who will tell you that I'm not going to get on stage and apologize for the things that I say because I'm a comedian. But he does not have to bow down to you. For what? For what? What's he bowing down for? Because at the end of the show, as he pointedly put, you crucified one of your own people for having an opinion. You crucified one of your own people for having an opinion. When she understood that he's just making jokes about us. Just like he make jokes about everybody fucking else. Nobody is safe from a comedian. The comedian going all in on everybody. No matter who you're fucking or sucking, he going in. You know that. You probably laugh at people being demeaned before. This is Mr. Maki, Back Row Ministry. Leave fucking Dave Chapelle alone. Peace.